What do I stand for? I stand for equality every single day, especially in healthcare. Imagine if your husband, wife, son, daughter, father, mother, any one of those people that's close to you was in a hospital and they were sent home with a clean bill of health and they died within 12 hours of coming home. The hospital that cared for them is the largest employer in your county. It has a stellar reputation. It has endless resources, and it can afford the best lawyers that money can buy. How do you stand up to them? How do you find out the truth? How do you find out what happened to your loved one? How do you fight such an overwhelmingly large institution with all of those resources? It seems overwhelming, but it's not impossible. You fight by finding a lawyer who's committed to equality, to stand up for your right to obtain the records from the hospital and have those records reviewed by independent experts who don't have allegiance to your local hospital, to stand up to the doctors in the hospitals who cost you your loved one, to push to have your case heard by people like you who will be able to see that this shouldn't have happened. I've stood up to the bully in elementary school. I've stood up to rich and powerful corporations and doctors my entire career. I've never been able to tolerate the powerful's imposition of their will on people with less power. I fight for an equal seat at the table because you see, that's all my clients need, is an equal seat at the table. I fight to make sure that there is no thumb on the scale of justice. One of my clients, a woman who worked on a horse farm, lost her husband in rural Ohio from cancer. I remember sitting at a conference table with the judge and the doctor's lawyer, and the doctor was one of the wealthiest men in the county. And the doctor's lawyer was saying to my client that she should take the paltry sum that was being offered to her, because if she didn't take it and she lost, she would get nothing. I remember that woman looking at the doctor's lawyer as the doctor sat next to him. And she said, "Look, I lost everything when I lost my husband. And I've been poor my whole life. So if I lose, I'm not worried about being poor. But when I look at your doctor, I don't think he's ever known what it was like to be poor in his whole life. He's the one that should be afraid of losing." That jury awarded 10 times what the defendant was offering going into the trial. Right almost always wins when seated in equal stature to power. That's what I believe. That's what I stand for. I stand for equality.